Our boy has it all, a shiny red whip that has everyone looking at him in envy, a six of him on frame built like a Greek god, and a face card so deadly that everyone is taking pictures of him. He is the richest kid on campus with an amazing supercar and an even more amazing girlfriend around his arm. This 11 by 10 baddie has all the dudes glaring daggers at him. He only got into college and he hooked up with the prettiest girl in 2nd grade all because of daddy's money. All the other simps want to kill him for having it good in life. It just shows that the bigger the wallet, the hotter the babe. Bro actually has a monopoly over the shorty trade in college. All the first-year goddesses are throwing themselves at him. A couple of girls even look at him enviously, putting on makeup, trying to snatch him from that hottie. Right now our boy's stock is rising by the day, but he doesn't know the stock market is about to crash harder than in 2008. He just smiles, thinking to himself that life is good, and just like that, everything comes to an end. His rich kid lifestyle is flipped over by the end of his junior year at college because of an unforeseen accident. His family's 3 travel agencies tank and he hits rock bottom with $1,000,000 in debt. Trying to get his mind off his miserable life, he tries to hit up his bros to go play games at a cafe. But it turns out, his bros switch up their attitude, revealing themselves to be trashier than his life. They outright tell him to buzz off. They are not even that close. Now that he is not a rich kid anymore, he shouldn't bother them. Our boy just stands on the rooftop, alone for the first time in his life. He was always surrounded by people, some licking his boots and others pretending to be his brothers. He is the hottest, richest kid dating a goddess and writing in a limbo. He is now the broke no one wants to be around. He feels hopeless now that his parents and sis are crammed into a 1-bedroom apartment and he has to go back into the college dorm to see these scumbags give him a hard time for not being rich anymore. Forget about that rich lifestyle he was used to, he can't even live a decent life anymore, but at least he has his hot girlfriend to look forward to. Even though he is not rich anymore, he will be having premium cake for life, or so our boy thought. After losing his bros, he sees this gold-digging OF Byron's model tell him that they can't see each other anymore. Suddenly, our boy is not her type, which please we know his wallet isn't your type anymore. His face shows betrayal and shock as he still tries to hold her close. They've been together for 3 years, how can she just drop the breakup bomb like that? Is she really heartless? Instead of being embarrassed, she tries to gaslight him, saying they are not warriors of pure love or anything, it's just that their passions are different now. A shiny new BMW skids in front of her to pick her up. Before leaving, she tells Shin not to call her Ting anymore. It sounds kind of old, that is if they meet up again. This witch has the audacity to tell our boy that they are over and get into another dude's car right away. She really is for the streets. She even tells Shin that they shouldn't see each other ever again, instead of crashing out like I would. Shin even helps her into the car like a true gentleman. He leans closer, making her nervous, wondering if he's going to create a scene. Our boy just whispers to hand over those designer bags she bought. If he can't get that premium cake, she can't keep those premium bags anymore. Shin reaches her, and she tries to gaslight him again, telling him to save some dignity. Now that he's broke, he's going to get those bags back. Shri just smirks. Before things can get heated, her new sugar daddy butts in, unwelcomed, calling the hottie Ting and telling her to get into the car. Daddy wants her to play with his joystick next. He even dares to call Shin buddy and offers to give him a lift. Shin can't believe that first of all, this undie in his 40s is calling his ex-girlfriend Ting when she said it's outdated, and second of all he's offering to drive him around. One oldie nasty son of a gun says that they're not in a hurry, they can even give him a lift. After all, it must be a huge blow that he broke up and he just wants to make sure Shin gets home safe and sound. Shin is on the verge of crashing out. How about he finishes him off as a courtesy? But instead of crashing out like any normal human would, Shin leans closer and tells him that he's a good guy and he appreciates his concern, but his place is just a few steps away. He also tells the old dude to take care of Ting. Ting sits in her car and looks guilty, but the damage is done. Poor Ting doesn't know what bro has in store for her. He just smiles and tells the old guy to take notes from the pro. He even tells him the brand of protection she loves and also what kind of stockings she needs. He makes it clear that even though she's dressed lavishly, she's used goods, and this old dude is just having his leftovers. This infuriates the dumb trashy scumbag so much that he just rides off into the sunset, holding what remains of his dignity. Instead of getting a babe, he got roasted by Shin in 3 different dialects of violence. Shin just looks at the sky wondering if that was the right choice not to create a scene and also to let her keep those handbags. Even though it's not his business anymore, he hopes that she leads a good life. It's as if the gods are moved by how pure our boy's heart is. A system window echoes that everyone wants to live the perfect life they deserve. And all of a sudden he enters the matrix with a system screen loading up the perfect life system. His stats are displayed and he wonders what in the solo leveling is going on. Is he hallucinating after getting dumped or something? Well, it turns out everything is legit. The perfect life system is now loaded up. It's basically a system where if he spends money on a honey that is suitably aged and has an affinity level over 60, then he can get triple the money back. The system window is basically telling him to be a sugar daddy, a fructose father as a full-time hustle. While Shin is losing his mind wondering if this is a joke or something, someone calls him up. It's an 11 by 10 baddie with melons bigger than people's heads and a skirt shorter than my attention span. She tells Shin that a real dude shouldn't crash out after a breakup. It's no big deal at all. This is Counselor Lee Zio. The counselor walks up to Shin. She has seen everything unfold and tells Shin that everything will be better in the future. But Shin notices a weird 65 mark over the counselor's head. Too bad it's not a 69 mark, but that will have to do. She has an affinity for him and that must mean that he can use the system on her to get rich quick. He tries to rizz her up, telling her that he is fine. He also internally laughs even though he has broke his beans right now. He really has the edge to send anyone into a frenzy. The counselor looks at him kindly, asking him if he has thought about getting that scholarship now that he can't afford tuition. Shin kindly says that a few thousand yen shouldn't be a trouble for his family, even though they are in debt. So it's better to give the scholarship to someone who actually needs it. This touches the counselor, and she decides not to press it any further. After chatting for a bit, she turns to leave. But Shin realizes that she is his ticket to getting a fatter wallet. He decides to test the system out on her by grabbing her hand and thanking her for all the care she has shown him for the past few days. He offers her a milk tea in return. Just as promised, bro gets her a can of tea. Even though his balance is only 87 yen, he has spent 6 on milk tea and now has 81 yen to his name. Bro really needs to work on that system, or else he will be eating ramen for the rest of his life. Sure enough, he immediately receives 18 yen in return for that milk tea. The system is working, and for the first time in a while, our boy's eyes shine brighter than my future after I chose that arts degree. As long as the professor has an affinity above 60, he can just spam her with gifts and get triple the amount back. He can even pay off his family's debt if he plays his cards right. He smiles for the first time in his life. It looks like things will get better in the future, but right now he only has 99 yen. Even if he spends it all on someone, it won't be fast enough. It will take years to get himself out of debt. So right now, he just needs the startup for his new side hustle, making a gain on baddies. After getting a loan, a business loan, and selling off the only gold he had, he now has a total of 49,600 yen. Now is the time to act. In the professor's eyes, he is just a broke boy with a bankrupt family living in a one-bedroom apartment. If he wants her to accept an expensive gift, he will have to be really careful. 1 hour later, our boy has thrown all the bags in the tags of the luxury bag he bought for 39,800 yen. All he has to say is that this is a knockoff, and the professor will accept it. He knocks on her apartment door, wondering if she is in. The professor arrives in a getup that I've seen in way too many questionable movies. She is wearing an apron that barely manages to hold her marshmallows together. But our boy has his eyes set on the prize and has no time to be distracted by those marshmallows. After exchanging greetings, he comes up with a crappy story that because she has been taking care of him for all this time, he wants to repay the favor with this bag. Looking at that designer bag, she gasps, saying that she can't accept it. It looks expensive. She is a professor and is doing nothing out of the ordinary. But Shin tells her that this is a knockoff purse that cost him only 200 yen. Knowing his family's position, how can he spend more on a bag? But he still wants to thank her for everything she has done. She hesitates for a moment and feels that if she doesn't accept it, it will be like rejecting him all over again. She doesn't want him to go through that trauma. She invites him in because her food is burning. She wonders if he has eaten yet. If not, then he should stay for dinner. Her boy realizes that he might get a taste of some clams. I swear this is just the way a video went before my dad walked in. He just smirks. As long as the professor doesn't have a boyfriend, there won't be any issues, and he'll just boost his affinity level and earn some dough on the side. He looks at the system window and informs him that he now has 120,000 yen. The money is rolling in smoothly. That bag just tripled its amount, and he made 80,000 in profits. He feels the shackles of poverty break from his ankles. He feels the world opening around him. He feels the power of youth. But before he can get a bigger head, the teacher arrives, telling him to sit down and eat. Our bro looks at the professor, looking delicious. Forget what about food is the professor on the menu with that bakery behind her. As she's trying to tie her apron, our boy decides to give her a hand. Being the gentleman he is, he tries to tie the apron and feels something rising. And it's not the shield hero, but before things can get any hotter, someone arrives at the apartment asking what the hell he is doing. Surprisingly, she is also hot because it's usually the fridge that protects the snacks. This is the professor's younger sister, Mang. Shin immediately fumbles and accidentally lets go of the apron. But the professor is not confused. After all, she was not doing anything wrong. She smiles and introduces Mang. Shin nervously greets her and tells the professor that he already ate before coming, so he'll be heading back to college. The professor wonders why the switch up. He looked like he was ready to settle down and have dinner. Meng sees his generational aura debt and tells her sister that he is up to no good. But her sister just angrily shoves her away, saying that they're only teacher and student and nothing more. Sure, keep telling yourself that, honey. Wait till you learn about the real price of that bag. Later, Shin is walking around a crowd aimlessly. He wonders who he should spend money on now. The professor is in a teacher-student relationship, so that won't do anymore. He accidentally bumps into a fellow loser and realizes it's Huang and his hands are shaking. He either had the best solo fun time of his life or he is really constipated. It turns out Huang's goddess went to the movies with Zhang Pang. This is his roommate, Huang. Shen smiles nervously. He's been simping over Fong, the prettiest girl in the class, and a sophomore. And with Huang's face card being able to pull only female gorillas, he doubts that the relationship would have worked. Huang nervously wonders why he isn't making fun of him yet. Shin just looks away and looks at two baddies drinking boba tea and rolling up through the crowd. Huang immediately activates his so-called rizzes. He's glad that they didn't go to the hotel after that movie. It means that he still has a chance. Huang is getting more delusional than me when I thought I would have a job after that arts degree. Shin just smirks as it looks like getting a girl to like him is making him lose his dignity and his aura, but he's surprised to see 72 pop up on the beauty's head. It turns out this 11 by 10 baddie is also falling for him thanks to his face card and his past reputation. Shin hears Fong and her friend talk about him behind his back, about how he got dumped by Ting. Her friend is bad-mouthing him while Fong is looking at him with a weird longing. It turns out that during basic training, at the start of the semester, she was trying to get close to him and even offered to buy him a drink. Her friend continues to badmouth him for having a bad attitude, just because he is having it good in life. Now that his family is back corrupt, all he has is his cocky attitude. This bubble-bottomed which doesn't know our boy has the ultimate cheat sheet to get rich in life. As her friend continues to badmouth him, Shin wonders if he finally has someone to spend money on as an investment. The further away she walks, the lower the affinity rating gets, until it reaches 69, the perfect number to act on. Shin realizes he can't just sit and watch her go away. He grabs Huang, asking him if it will be a problem if he goes after Fong and if they end up together. Huang makes a stupid face. He knows that with his face card, it would be a miracle if his bloodline continues, but he's still jealous of Shin, wondering if he thinks he is still the guy who drives a Lambo. But he won't mind as long as she doesn't end up with Li Jinfeng. He doesn't care who she's with. That's all our boy needed to hear before running after Fong, promising to give it an honest shot. He walks up to Fong ready to riz her hat off. Her ugly friend tries to shield her from Shin's hotness, asking what he wants to do with Fong. Shin is taken aback by her resistance. He comes up with a story that he just wants to book a table at a high-end restaurant and wants to ask Fong if she would be free for lunch. Fong is a bubbling mess. She can't believe that the once great Shin is asking her out for lunch. Her friend is still skeptical. How can he talk about that 5-star Japanese restaurant that costs 1,000 per person? Shin just smiles and scratches his head. He tells Fong that they can go for a walk after dinner and maybe she can help him pick out a gift for his little sister. After she's free, she should let him know by noon. Playing it smooth, he walks away, promising to see her tomorrow. Huang is looking at Shin operate unparalleled riz with an open mouth. Fong can't believe that she was asked out to a high-end restaurant by Shin just after she watched a movie with Zhang Pang. She asks her friend if it's okay or not. Her friend turns out to be a sucker for free food. She tells Fong that it's top-notch Japanese food. Even though Shin might be a bit arrogant, he has a killer face card and Zhang Pang only has family money. If Shin can make a comeback, he will easily be one of the most successful people out there. Surprisingly, her friend gives her good advice, which is rare for girls, that she'll lose nothing by going to dinner and a walk with no mention of Netflix and chill. The next day, Fong is all dressed up in a cute crop top and a pencil skirt. Shin is also out there showing his finest threads. The host serves them a wide variety of sushi, telling them to enjoy the meal. After sitting, Fong asks Shin about the hard time his family is going through, and he shouldn't have spent so much on her. Poor girl doesn't know that this is a business transaction. Our boy will be rolling in dough after spending money on her. As soon as she sits, her massive cake factory is visible through her skirt. Looking at that cake, Shin whispers that the flavor is incredible and worth it. He tries to look away. It's been 2 months since he played the field, so he tries to calm down and take a sip of tea. Fong wonders why he went out of his way to ask her out, to pick a gift for his sister. Shin says that he always wanted to invite her to dinner, but couldn't find the right time. Instead of that affinity value going up, it starts going down until he reaches 66. Shin raises her eyebrow, wondering why his raise failed. Did she want a different answer? He switches up his tactics and reminds her of their time together in basic training. When she bought him a drink, and they chatted on Snapchat for a while, realizing that Shin remembers their exchange immediately lifts her mood and her affinity until it reaches 69 again. A naughty number and just what Shin wanted. Shin tries to calm down and remember the day when he was a smooth talker. 40 minutes later, he is at the counter paying 3,000 yen for a single dinner. From her perspective, Fang's monthly rent and entire budget are 3,000 yen. She can't believe this dude just blew 3 grand on a single dinner. That boosts her affinity value to 73. She also compares Zhang Pang and how they decided to eat at the school cafeteria after the movie. Even though he is supposed to be rich, it turns out that being rich and being a gentleman are completely different. Shin looks at his phone and immediately gets a 3 times refund on the meal value. And it also turns out that the more the affinity points increased, the more the refunds were doubled. So he got 10,000 yen after spending 3,000. Now that's the system that can pull anyone out of poverty. Fong smiles and loves how the date is going. She also wonders if it's the power of money, but she feels more inclined towards Shun. They still have to hit the mall to pick out a gift for his sister. At the mall, he runs into Unt and his washed-up girlfriend going into a luxury bag store. The Timek raises her eyebrow, wondering why Shin is here. His days of buying designer goods are supposed to be over. Unt is even on the verge of a stroke. How are they here? How can Shin spend money at a place like that? This is supposed to be his turf. He's an exploited worker who had to buy a mountain of bags just to win over Timek. And now Shin shows up with an even prettier girl to spend money on. Shin looks at them heading towards the store and asks Fong if it's okay if they hit other stores first. Unt takes it as a moment of weakness. He tells Shin that they should go in and take a look together. After all, window shopping costs nothing. This ugly old bastard doesn't know our boy has the ultimate system backing him up. An infinite money glitch. Miss Fake Redhead also angrily wonders what Shin is doing over here, as if her sorry bottom owes them all. Shin just looks at them as if they're mosquitoes. He's just here to buy a gift for his sister. And Unt Such realizes that even though he can't match Shin bar for bar, he will now try to match him band for band. He tells Shin that he should hit the toy store. He heard that there's a sale going on and maybe he'll be able to afford a toy car. Even Miss Ting walks up to Fong trying to scare her into leaving because Shin is a liar. Shin walks up in front of Fong wondering what she is getting at by calling him a liar. When did he lie? Unt tells Shin not to yap while trying to be a rich kid. He starts going off about how a man should have class and should spend on their woman. And they all know that his family is dirt poor right now, so he doesn't need to pretend to be rich. Shin is infuriated. He feels disgust crawl in the pit of his stomach and realizes that these two losers are made for each other. While he's thinking of letting them go without embarrassing them, the perfect life window has a different plan. It hits Shin with a time-limited task he needs to spend on a person with a level 60 affinity level and also to raise others' negative emotion levels. The system is basically telling him to spend money on his girlfriend and ragebait these two losers into disliking him even more. Shin smiles. It looks like he'll be educating them in the fine art of violence and embarrassment today. He turns to Fong, leading him into the store, promising to just have a look at the store. The salesgirls are gossiping about Shin. He used to be a regular over here, but now he's just an ex-rich kid trying to throw his weight around by having a baddie around his arm. The trashy sales rep tells her friend to go look at Shin and tend to him while she takes care of Unker and his little kitten. For someone built like a Discord mod, Unsure is playing in the big leagues. Tang looks at the bag, wondering if he can pay now. The sales rep immediately walks up, telling her friend to go tend to Shin. Her friend wonders how it is fair that she gets the good customers while she's stuck with the ones who won't buy anything. The sales reps are happily showing Tang several bags and accessories. Along with the accessories, the bag will cost 100,000 yen. The accessories are just 2 bootleg Libo-Ebos. Shin looks at Fong, telling her not to worry about saving money. The bag is pretty and the design is youthful. The sales rep nonchalantly says that together it will be 50,000 yen, which is kind of expensive. Unker is having an existential crisis after hearing that price tag. He wanted to buy her a 20,000 yen bag. 100,000 is too much for her used-up clam. She tries to sweet-talk him into buying it, to show Shin just how powerful he is. After all, he drives a BMW. Unker is not ready to spend that kind of money on boyfriend privileges. Shin just smirks, telling the reps that he wants both the bags and the accessories. The look on Unkura's in Tang's faces is priceless, and Fong is covering her mouth in shock while the sales rep is cursing the heavens and the earth because she didn't tend to Shin. He is supposed to be broke and here he is buying everything without a second thought. The total comes out to be 130,000 yen. Shin wonders if it is fate playing him because that's the exact amount he has on his card after that food refund. He smiles, grabs his card, and tells the rep to ring it up. The rep is about to cry tears of joy. Who knew that tending to him would be the biggest sale of her lifetime? She didn't expect Shin to be so generous. While everyone is in shock, Ting has the audacity to wonder why the hell he is spending this kind of money when he is supposed to be bankrupt. She probably feels bad that she traded this hot boy toy for Unt who was supposed to be rich. Unt tries to come up with a story that Shin probably took a loan or something. Shin just smiles and looks at them, raging. He tells them to think whatever they want and also tells Unt that he is not broke either. Why doesn't he buy another bag for Ting? It only costs another measly 20,000 yen. The Unt is on the verge of a brainstroke. Shin continues to pressure him that someone who drives an Audi that costs 700,000 yen shouldn't mind spending more on his girlfriend. This stupid little redhead turns to her sugar daddy, telling him to show his power in front of Shin. What she doesn't know is that this Unt just took a huge loan to buy that luxury car. He tries to save his dignity by pretending to call someone for a business meeting. He tries to sound important on the phone call, yelling that no one can proceed with a million-yen project without his authority. Draw probably has the calendar app on speed dial. Ting grudgingly tells Shin to take care of himself and storms away, raising her hatred value. Shin looks at them walking away, wondering if it's worth arguing with them anymore. He then turns to Fong, telling her to take the bags. She nervously says that it's too expensive, but he says there's nothing, it's just a bag. She had to put up with her nasty attitude, it's the least he can do to apologize. Fong nervously accepts it and Shin just smiles, telling her not to thank him so fast. After all, this is for her as well. He hands her the second bag as well, saying that he's not sure if his sister will like it, but at least she can have something she put thought into. In reality, his little sis would probably bash his head for buying something so expensive, and they're supposed to be broke. Fong looks away, nervously saying that she can't accept something so expensive, but Shin seals the deal by playing the good guy, telling her not to worry, they have plenty of time ahead to look at the future. Even if she doesn't accept it, he'll feel bad. He successfully completes his tasks and gets a whopping 790,000 yen in his bank account. Mission passed, respect increased, and the bank account is getting fatter with each exchange. Shin smiles and leans closer, looking into her eyes. He realizes Fong is his money tree. All he has to do is take good care of her and not let her affinity level drop below 60. He activates his charisma, telling her they should head back, it's getting late. At this point he is fighting his demons not to suggest that they head back to a hotel to see how things unfold. Zhang blushes and raises an eyebrow, going along. Back at his dorm, a rich kid in designer pajamas is being hyped by his lackeys. They keep telling him that he is different than Shin because Shin didn't mention going to a hotel. They keep trying to hype up their master while talking down to Shin, even going as far as to suggest that they celebrate Zhang Peng's victory. Shin just zones out and goes into his room and finds his roommate raging about Zhang Peng and his boasting. He took the prettiest girl in the class to a movie, and who knows what happened late at night. A waste of space doesn't know that our boy took the class flower to an expensive dinner, bought her designer bags and dropped her off at school. Shin just smiles and tells him that his glory days are numbered. Fong won't end up with Zhang Peng. His bro looks at him as if he is still in denial about his broke face. Doesn't he know that he is not that kid anymore? Besides, Fong didn't agree to go out with him today either, so it looks like she is going for Zhang Peng. Shin doesn't bother correcting this waste of space's assumptions. He just checks his bank balance and sighs in relief. He now has more money than ever, so it's a good time to visit home. While visiting home he sees his distant uncle lounging on his couch. He greets his uncle with a hint of annoyance while Shin's father tells him to go into his room. It turns out he is trying to negotiate with his uncle to give them some time to pay back the loan they took from him. Shin hears everything with a heavy heart. His uncle is riding on his high horse saying that he needs the entire amount as soon as possible. Shin's mother angrily yells that he should remember who lent him 300,000 yen when he wanted to start his business, and now he is here for only 200,000 yen, pressuring them over and over again. Shin's father nervously tells his wife to stop talking and making things difficult, but she refuses to back down. After all, she talked to the uncle's wife and he doesn't have any urgent expenses. Looks like Shin also has a good-for-nothing uncle whose only purpose in life is creating drama in the family. His uncle says that paying off debt is important, and as a member of their family he is asking nicely or he has other means to get that money. Shun's mother angrily yells how dare he say that he is going to get violent. His father on the other hand calms her down. They decide to see if she has any gold left to sell. Seeing his family in strife, Shun's system boots up, saying that a perfect life shouldn't be burdened by debt. He has a limited time to pay off all family debt and the money he spends on clearing the tab will be returned multiplied by 2. And if he uses 200,000 yen to clear the family burden, then he will also get 1,000,000 yen for an expensive car. Shun looks at the system in disbelief. What did he do to deserve this? But he also smiles because this is the perfect time to get revenge and show everyone what he is made of. Instead of spending daddy's money, he will be spending God's money while his parents are looking at the last bit of gold they own.